Hello friends, welcome to JavaEE JSP tutorial. Now you are watching the second video in this series. Here we are going to see how to create loop in JSP. So in the last video we used the out object. So here we will see how to use an expression so that we can directly send the output to the browser session. So here if you see, in the last video itself we talked about the scriptlet. Here we can see we have two scriptlets. This is one scriptlet and this is the next pair. So once we start the tag, so here this is a starting one and this one is the ending one. Inside if you see, it's just a pure Java language stuff. Here we have an integer variable, initialize it to 10, then we are forming the for loop. Here is the opening bracket. So when you start typing the code, once you make a opening bracket, you will see red squiggly marks stating an error. Why? Because you haven't yet closed it, right? So you no need to worry, and you have to put the closing tag, and once you put the close tag, I mean the for loop, once you close, then the error will go away. So what usually programmer will do, they will first form their scriptlets for loop, then they will simply write the code. After that, what they will do, if they want to append any static content, HTML content, suppose if they want to append a p tag here, then the scripting code, and if they want to close the p tag here, likewise they will introduce, and here they are starting the p tag, right? So here this is the opening and they will put a closing stuff, then p tag, and if there is no dynamic content and only HTML content, they will put the HTML content. After the HTML content, for the dynamic content they will put the angle bracket like this. So here if you see, here this is how we used the for loop, and this one is what called the expression, JSP expression. And if you see percentage equal, which is nothing but sending this output to, or we can say this as out.println equal. So we can do this way, or we can simply put equal to, then you can put any of the variable you want to print to the or send to the output stream. So this will send the content of this variable to the browser session. Alright, now it's a demo time. Let's go to the demo. So we created our first video in this workspace. So this is the second video. We are using the same workspace. And if you remember, our project name is JSP Examples. So once the Eclipse opens, you can see that dynamic web project. So JSP Examples, this is the example we created in the previous video. Now we will start adding the JSP content. So I'm right clicking here, new JSP file. So as explained in the slide, if you see here, we are adding our first scriptlet, and you can see the error here. It states that insert the closing parenthesis, closing curly braces for the for loop. So inside the body, we want to append the HTML tag. And here the expression language is percentage equal and index, whatever is the index content that we want to send it to the output stream. That means to the browser we are sending the index content, and it will run in a loop. That means we will be sending this output 10 times. So it is asking to close it, right? Now we will close this. Once I save, you can see that error is gone. So here we have a for loop. Here inside this scriptlet, we closed the for loop. Here we initialized a variable, we started a for loop. Here we are closing that loop. Inside we are using the HTML content, p tag, and this one is the dynamic stuff. And here we are substituting the index using this expression language, percentage equal. So the value in index will be evaluated. This is the expression evaluation. Then it will be sent to the browser. So here this is actually HTML. It will be sent to browser, and this dynamically created content will get appended to this loop. Counter is at very first time it will be 1. Next it is 2. Likewise, the dynamic content is appended to this static content. Okay, now we will start our JSP example. So first you can check whether it's already there. So now it is saying republish. Why? Because we introduced one more JSP file, right? So you can, if this JSP is not there, let me remove it. So in the previous example we added it, right? That's why we saw that JSP example here. So if JSP is, this web application is not there, then you can add it like this, finish. And when we make any change, say for example here I am just introducing this space, and you can see it is stating republish. So first we will start the server. So whenever you make any modification, say simple changes doesn't require full publish, so you can go for incremental publish. Why? Because the change is here on this page only. So we can go for incremental publish. Any language related changes like introducing some variable, those stuff can go on incremental. But if we make a big configuration change like introducing a DSN or adding a new configuration section in the web project, then we can go for full publish. So incremental publish will just apply the delta to the running application, but if you go for full publish, it will undeploy the web application, then it will redeploy it. Okay, let's do a full publish and you will see that. you are seeing here undeployed JSP example.var file, then it deployed JSP example.var file. So first, whatever is there in the web server, so that will be removed. Then this is the newly compiled one, right? It will be added to the web server. That means here the web server is Wildfly. So it is almost equivalent to manually doing the remove. You see, undeployed, then choosing the add, you see, deployed. So that's what that full publish is doing. So it will undeploy the web application, then it will add the compiled one. All right, now we will go to this for loop. Just right click here, then click on run on server. So you can see loop counter is at 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 it is running. So let's undeploy it. Then we will stop the server. So on each video, what you can do, you can take a backup of your workspace, so that when you are watching the video and doing the exercise, and if you think you collapsed some of the environment, you can always restore it. So if you see, this is the workspace demo. So what you can do, this is your workspace, right? You take a backup or you zip this content and place it somewhere safely. And when you feel your environment is collapsed, what you can do, you can come to this same path and extract the backup content, then start the Eclipse, and Eclipse will pick up from the as backup. That means, let's say you are at example 2. I mean, you took the backup at example 2, and when you are doing the example 3, you made some mistake and you don't want to do the configuration for 1 and 2. So in that case, what you can do, if you collapsed the existing environment, you can delete the workspace for example 3, then restore the backup and restart the Eclipse. So at least you will get the environment for example 1 and 2, then you can redo your example 3. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.